Okay, well, I'm just checking my microphone and making sure that we can, that everything is going well with the microphone. It looks really, if you have any questions in the chat, you can. So start really quick on breathing, seated on the floor. What you're going to need are, blocks. Always, I love to have some that they serve a purpose. But in addition to that, you can use to hook around your foot, lengthen. I have box and strap available. Blanket to start and sit with. Take a nice deep breath through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe we through the nose and exhale. Remember that Ujjayi breathing, like fogging a mirror. Also, the inverse of that, gasping for air as you breathe in. I like to call it a surprise breath. So, and you can easily now practice using muscles with the mouth closed. Feel or hear audible sound when you're really breathing Ujjayi breath. To get centered and be and allow to open here, exhale, close, open, exhale, close. Same breath. Open through the spine. 2 more. Last one. Use the hands at the chest. So you're hooking the thumbs together. Garuda Mudra. Circulation or circulation. Also protective mudra. So the breath moves. We're working with the chakras today. Most importantly, the grounding chakra, the first, the root, Muladhara, or Muladhara. Our first breath practice will be that for Muladhara. We'll bring the arms overhead on an exhale, pull the arms down. You could exhale with a ha. Inhale as well, and exhale. Ha. Do that. Ha. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Ha. 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 Keep going. Ha. 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 Let's go. 10. Ha. 6, 5, 4. Ha. 1. Ha. Breathe in. Head. Hold the breath. Connect with Mula Bandha, the pelvic, intending to contract towards the navel from an internal perspective. And exhale, bring the hands, heart, and give it a little shake. Roll to side Dandasana. It's all called staff pose. And this first pose in Dandasana, the leg, hip, the low back. These are all the body that are governed by our first chakra. So we want to keep the five rooting down. The way to do that is to kickstand. So we've got a long spine. Breathe in, pull the belly firm, and then reach the arms overhead. Let's choose our upside right, palms flat. Root the thumbs back, open the heart and chest, and then pull the ribs in and down. That's the most difficult part. So we're not open. It's actually not too bad in this position. One more breath, looking up the thumbs. One more breath. And arms to your side, pull onto your back. We're starting partially on your arm. So you'll need your we'll take first regular bent knee. Bring the right knee in, circle through the ankle, all the way down. The heel going forward and the slip ball of the foot and take it side to side. Just I'm going to make a triangle shape. So the straps are wide. It looks like I'm pulling the knee towards the chest, inhaling. As you exhale, push strongly up to straps and so you're getting strong. We'll do that 4 more times. Inhale, exhale. No, or don't speed it up. Exhale, press. Out of reach, strong. It's like you're doing a bench press. And your legs should exhale. 1 more. And each time going a little bit deeper. Exhale. Release the earth. Bend your opposite knee in. Left ankle and take that one. Both directions. And then the other. Strap around the sole of the foot. Feel the area just below the foot. And we're going to power the foot to the sky. Power to the sky. So I'm holding some resistance with the arms. Inhale. Exhale, straighten. We're in no hurry. This right leg can remain, or if you like, extend it all the way down into the earth. Requires much more hamstring. So you can choose which one is more appropriate for you. Let's go to press. Press. It's all good. And bring this slowly to the lowering onto the floor. We're going to switch again. This is actually in the Vistasana. We're going to take it in all directions. So place the strap around the foot again. And you can choose to straighten or keep the bottom leg, base leg straight. This time, bring the knee up towards the forehead. So it's a split. Inhale and exhale. I'm pulling. Inhale, pulling forward. giving a little resistance, exhale, extending. And again, getting the leg activated. Activation of the leg helps the first chakra and a little more grounding. Let's take it to the side. I'm still holding, same hand, the foot strap to the side. Take a deep breath in, 5 deep breaths. It's already 3. Now get back to the sun, switch the grip. So I'm now holding, and I'll take, I have a perfect position. Really open the eye and a lot of sensation going to the side of the leg and some opening in the back. Bring it back to center. That leg down to the ground and take the second side. Strap around the foot upward and then pull. Inhale. The shins come to the forehead. Exhale. Forehead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Remember, we're trying to activate the leg, activate the hips out to the floor. And one more time. And out to the side. Remembering that they could still be take some of the anxiety, the hamstring. It's early in the morning. A little more across the breathe in, breathe out. Bend the knee if necessary to take the anxiety out of the low back. We want there to be an opening here. We go back to center, release the foot, and hug the knees and take them in a nice circle around the sacrum. And there's the abdomen. Exhale, round. Let's take a rock and roll. If you want to roll this all the way around in a circle, have a little bit of fun with it. Come back to center. Cross the ankle. Step back to a downward dog. Nice. And now coming to the top of and lower all the way down to earth into a cobra. With a little Nagini sway, as my guru calls it. And release to the on your raise one leg, so arms out, forehead to top, and the tops of the feet pressing into the floor. Inhale, raise right. Exhale, touch down the foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, do alternate right. Exhale, lower. Tiny side, right. Feel the hands. Keep the forehead straight. Strong, lift the side. To the even with the heart, and we'll take to a little cobra, peeling the shoulders back. Inhale, and And then take your gaze up, not the head. And then release down. Yeah. Hold in. And exhale. One more of those. Anchor the feet down. And exhale half. Here, bringing the arms in jet airplane. Take a full shoulder. Legs will come off the earth. Just full pose at your side. And then release. Hands to the chest and take it all the way forward. Big forward fold. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And we're going to do something interesting here. Forward fold. Bend and straighten the knees. So as you bend the knees, you're going to have on the thighs and rest. So to bring deep enough, chest can rest. This is wise. So you have some distance here. Working in action, then lift the action, pushing in and out with the legs. So my hands are pushing physically in. I don't stop, so I'm pulling out strongly through the thigh, upper and thigh. Bending the knee. Inhale. One more. Exhale. To the earth. Inhale. Pause here. Come right into the chair. And center. Out. We'll do a sun salutation. Get a little bit more into the hamstrings. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Right to the back edge of the mat and bring it to the straighten the front leg. And hop on a exhale. Inhale. Straight and lifting the back to a downward. Inhale to a plank. The knees, chest to the floor. So back to downward dog. The right foot. Bring your back in. And we'll come all the way to standing. We'll root down through the feet. Press up. Arms above the head and exhale, hands to the heart. So at the beginning, but it's a spin. They come down, we turn the palms out, keep the fingers rolling up. So it just looks like, we'll just take one prayer wheel, and when they come down, the sides open up to the sky again. Exhale, take hold. Big steps. Bring the knee to the floor gently, moving through the hip. Right leg forward, left leg. Inhale and exhale. Hanuman. Split. Lift to the back. Out to the exhale. Knees to the low cobra. And back. Downward facing. And this time, left leg forward. Right leg meets the left. You push off. Coming into right into forward fold. Exhale. To standing, palms together, and then down to your heart. We'll step to the side and got feet are turned out at right angles to Well, this over, hand to the thigh. Upper right shoulder in. I come back to center, left shoulder. Come center. Deepen your stance. Hug to center line. So really the legs and the hamstrings here. We'll bring the arms wide and then float the elbow to the right knee as the left arm comes up and over. So look at that beautiful big side stretch. Keep the pockets deep in the hip. Inhale to center. Exhale. Pocket here. Inhale to center. Exhale. Deep pockets, both sides. Inhale, center. Exhale. Keep that deep pocket. Inhale, center. Now we're going to take the pocket out of one side and reach up and over. Come back, deep pockets, up and over. Take the deep pocket out, back to center. Exhale, up and over. Last time. Over to the left. Come back to deep pockets. Arms overhead and then straighten the legs. Push through the feet. Power, power, power. Full Tarasana, star pose. Turn the heels out, toes in, and bring the fingertips together. Exhale in that forward hinge. Bend the knees slightly and take the hands all the way to the earth. The first chakra, Muladhara, in our root, governs the feet, the elimination organs, the legs, and it's our will to move forward. I belong on the earth. The color is red. Muladhara is, the element is earth. And then come back to center, walk the hands all the way around, stepping back, or actually stepping forward. The half lift, forward fold. Inhale, let's come all the way to standing, and we'll move now to more the second chakra, prayer wheel again. So we'll spin the hands all the way around, down to your side, exhaling. Inhale as you come up. Full extension through the body. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back. And come into Anjaneyasana. We're doing some more of the opener, hip flexions here. Arms overhead and pause. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the left arm inside the right. So we're going to remain in Anjaneyasana, but going a little bit deeper. So the right form slides to the mat. We're going to lift back off the earth and pulse forward and back. Pulse forward and back. You could also bring your form to a block, or you could remain upright. Totally your call. Gently bring a knee to the floor. Open towards the left. Gently press the knee a little more open. We're going to get a little bit in that front hip socket. So coming back to center, bend your back knee. So we're on the hands. Catch the foot and drop the heel in towards the glute. So this has an effect of really power, putting sensation in that quad, because yes, we're lengthening that energy. Hamstring curl, the heel in towards the glute, and then a gentle release, and we'll step back. So that's one whole side. We did that on the left leg. Remember, the reminder is the left leg. Inhale, come to the top of the push-up, chest in, chin to the inhale. There's some asymmetry on the right leg, and then we'll swap side. Exhale, facing dog. So the right lifting to the sky on an inhale, bend the knee and open. Rotate through the ankle. Asymmetry here. We're going to go both ways. We'll take this leg into pigeon. We're working with the second chakra. The color is orange. The mantra is, I have a right to my emotions. Pleasure, feeling. What is your feeling today? What are you feeling? This is a really good question. If I'm feeling sad or mad or happy or glad, and we start to notice what framework we're dealing with, and then we can move from that into a space that is serving us through the day. More joy, more love, more affection, more gratitude is always a good focal point. What are you grateful for? It changes the emotion. Let's take the hands back up, bend your back knee, and you can just hold here, or if you'd like, reach around and take a hold of the ankle and bring it a little bit closer. So this is our second quad stretch. We're stretching the left this time. Remember, we stretched the right. Asymmetry, I said we're doing left and right. And then we're going to repeat on the second side. So watch carefully. We'll release the left leg, step onto the right. So you have to push the floor away, lift the knee and the hip, and step. So now I'm in a low lunge. Push off with the back foot and forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, let's come all the way to standing. Push through the legs. So it should feel a little bit awkwardly uneven because we did a left deep stretch and then we did a right deep stretch. Okay, we'll curl wheel. Now float all the way down. Exhale. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. This time step the left leg back and bring the knee to the floor. So the hip flexor now on the left side gets to open, and we'll take Anjaneyasana, holding for 3, holding 2, holding 1. Lots of power here. Bring the hands inside the right leg. Remember, now we're on the right side for this whole sequence. Left forearm comes to the earth, and then we pop the back knee and give a little pull. You also can use a block underneath the forearm, or keep it stay upright, and you can use a block there as well. Gently drop the knee. Bring the right hand inside your right knee and open. So I get that hip opener again. Back to center, bend the back, and with the hands upright, you could also use a block here, and the block would come outside or inside. I think might be a little bit better. I'm going to draw the heel towards the glute, and now we're having that deep quadricep on the other side. Oh. Remember how we stretched the left quad, now we're on the right. Square the hips, square the heel right into the glute. One more breath. And gently release. We're going to step back. So you'll turn the toes under, lift the knee, and back right foot to meet the left, downward facing dog. Here, a vinyasa, so it's an plank. The knees come to the floor. Chaturanga, if you'd like, is an option. I'll take Ashtangasana, 8-limb path, 8-limb pose. Inhale, inchworm into cobra. Out back, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg this time. We'll bend the knee and open up the hip here, rotating through the ankle. We'll take a couple steps in each direction. And then coming into pigeon, so the left leg through. We go right straight into pigeon. The shin crossing threshold, or crossing from left to right in a diagonal shape across your mat. And hold the hips square. Pull the back knee and the front shin towards each other so you're supported, low belly in. Start to walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead all the way to the floor if you'd like, or you can just hold with the forearms on the ground. Pigeon. Now with eye opener, we're going to go to the right side. It's bending the right knee. Upright the torso, reach around, or just hold right here. You want to make sure you're on top of the quad. See where my weight is? It's not on the kneecap. And I have the ability to pull the heel in towards the glute, glute towards the heel. Moving towards each other. Right? They like each other. Don't try to move one away from the other. And then release that. Coming back into our low lunge. Remember how we did that? Turn the toe under, push the floor away. The hips have to lift. They can't be heavy, so they have to lift. Here, the footsteps in, and then we're going to step forward. Feet to hands, half lift. Exhale, in the forward fold again. Take it a little bit deeper. And then inhale, come all the way to standing. Palms together, exhale, hands to the heart. Very nice. And we'll do a tree pose. I'm going to face you. Shifting the weight to the left, turn your foot out and bring the toe to the mat. So we're opening the hips. This is tree, one version. If you want to slide the foot up to the shin, there's another version. If you want to bring the foot up above the knee, that's another version, or the heel all up to the groin. Pressing the leg against the foot. So wherever the foot is landing, do a sandwich press, right? It's like we have a big fat sandwich. We're going to compress it down into something bite-sized. Press the palms together and extend, shoot the arms overhead like a rocket ship. And just pause. I want you to feel strong and stable, getting down through the feet. Really earth quality. Trees give us so much, and they're strong and tall, and they're very deep as their branches reach upward. The roots go downward. Just really just bring the hand back to center. Release. Take it to the second side. So the foot will go out, toes to the earth, inside the ankle, or shin above the knee, or all the way into the groin. Let's just not keep the foot. What you don't want to see is pressure on the knee. So there you go. Once you find your balance, press the palms together and reach the arms overhead. Again, like a rocket. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Tree pose, my favorite. If it's easy for you, close the eyes and challenge your balance a little bit. More into your proprioceptive skills. Palms together, release. To the earth. Out. And then we'll go back to our Padangustasana. This time we're standing. So we'll take this again, root down into the left leg and strap around the ball of the foot. I'm going to hold the strap, same hand to foot, and then extend out. Remember how we really pushed? So the foot back and pull the shoulder blade into the socket. Holding for a couple of breaths with the legs straight out. Not necessarily straight, but straight out. And take it to the side. Now I'm rotating my inner thigh wide, and then I'm going to scoop the glute to bring it back upright. So it feels very powerful to me in this position. Holding again, 2 to 3 breaths. And when we were on the ground, we took the leg and then we folded it over and bring the leg back to center, switch arms, and then we'll for torso. So we're going to look to the side or back, The hand goes all the way back, the foot forward, staying strong, strong. Again, 2-3 breaths, long and easy, and then come back to center. We'll release strap and lower the leg. If you want to just hold it there for a split second, take a little break. We'll get ready for the second side. Standing on the right leg, bring your left knee into the chest. So that gives you the ability to put the strap around the foot. It's a lot harder if you start on the ground. And then bring it inside, and we'll hold the hand. Knee up, that knee has to lift itself. It can't be pushing you down or pulling you down. So lift the knee and then start pushing the foot outward, pulling the shoulder blade into the mat. Do this from the side. So you don't want to see the thigh move up the standing leg. It's got to push down and back. So the legs are splitting essentially. Then we'll take the leg out to the side, thighs to back, that standing leg, and we're holding again for 2 to 3 breaths. Find your balance. Find that cadence in the breath. Find that sweet spot. Bring it back to center, switching hands. Now we're going to rotate through the way from left to right, right to left, right to left. Extend the arm back. Sheet, I have the wall right here to support me. Breath in, big breath out. And come back to center. We'll release the strap and lower the leg. Give it a check out. That might take a few times of practice to really get it the way you want it. Let's come back to center. Hands to prayer. Big circle. Inhale. Exhale, release to the floor. And up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back with the right leg and spin it to the floor as you come into side angle. Right here. Inhale to warrior 2 and exhale, reverse the warrior. Let's go side to side. Side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse and hold. Straighten the front leg. Coming into Trikonasana. So we're doing our standing postures. These are stabilizing, moving from the second chakra, where the color is orange. I feel this is water quality. Now into the solar plexus. Color is yellow. One more breath. Exhale. Bring both hands to the floor. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of a push-up. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the earth. The color is yellow. The element is fire. As we move the channel of the chakras, the energy gets lighter and frequency is faster. So the movement is faster. We need the grounding sensation. Right leg steps forward. Your back foot in to meet it. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop in and down. So we want to get balanced. Power in the legs, supported, rooted in the chakras, hands to the heart center. Spin the prayer wheel. Inhale, exhale, down. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left leg back, spin the heel to the floor, side angle, and rotate around. Inhale, up. Exhale, over. Again. So you're going to go back and forth. I'm going to pause for just a moment. From here, right leg is forward. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, all the way back to reverse the warrior. Now straighten the front leg here and come through vertical. Reaching forward into triangle pose. Trikonasana, hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1 and bring the hand to the floor. Into a low lunge. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of a push-up. Exhale, Ranga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward. Right leg to it. Inhale, half. And exhale, a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Palms together and hands to the heart center. Good, let's well again. Inhale, exhale, release. Take a deep bow. Inhale, the arms overhead. And a forward fold. From here, bend the knees. Take the feet out, bend the knees and lower the hips towards the heels. Malasana. Breathe in, breathe out. And then we'll bring it to the floor. So you'll take the hands behind. I'm just going to turn to face you again. Soles of the feet are in cobbler's pose. Cobbler's pose. And wiggle the hips side to side, bringing them a little closer, lifting the chest, and then exhale into a forward fold. I'm going to take my elbows into the shin and then press the shin back up into the elbows. Take a big breath here. Inhale, pushing you together. Exhale, release. Inhale, pressing. Exhale, releasing. So you're giving a lot of pressure, sensation, resistance, and then releasing and bring it back up. Take legs all the way out into a wide angle. Now, wide angle, forward fold to the side, up and over. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. Your side bodies are getting a pretty good workout today. And if you use your obliques to come up, your core will get a pretty good workout. So just lifting with the arm, lift with the legs, come up and over to the other side, back to center and take it forward. Hands reaching down, elbows to the earth. Bow the head if you'd like. Keep the knees pointed upward and the toes pointing upward. There's always this propensity that they go back, and along with that, the hip goes back. So try to just keep steady. And this a lot of this has to do with the hip opening, and it's a little bit, guys, you're at a disadvantage because you have narrower pelvis, narrower sit bones, and a narrower pelvic girdle. Women are automatically going to be a little bit easier doing this posture. Do what you can. All right. Let's raise that back up. Bring the hands underneath the knees and come back to that cobbler's pose here. And we'll reset, feet to the earth, lifting up to malasana with the heels to the ground. Bringing the elbows forward and then rotate the arms all the way around. See if we can bring the forehead to the earth. A little bow. This is big in the low back. Breath in, breath out. Raise up, bring the hands around and lift into a forward fold. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale into the top of a push-up, plank pose. And open to the side wall in side plank. Holding. Back to center and switch to the other side. The key here is pushing into the feet. So you're on the blade of one foot and you're on the inner ball and heel of the other. At the same time, the standing hand is very strong and active. Let's come back to center. Let's go to the first side again and play with some modifications. So the knee could come to the ground, kickstand the hand, and we're here. You could also bring the foot forward and extend one leg here, or come to that full length of the legs if you want to express yourself in this side plank. And you could put a tree on it. So a lot of different variations and options. Let's come back to the center. Take the first side again. Option is knee to the floor. Remember, you could take that into a tree. That's an inside job, inner thigh working. And again, left leg forward, right leg back, or stacking. Any variation. Holding for the fun of it. And back into a downward facing dog. Inhale into the top of a push-up, bring it all the way to the earth. Bend the knees, or let's actually come into Shalabhasana so the legs stay straight. We lift the head, neck, and shoulders, arms raise, legs raise, and then we'll bend the knees. Clasp one and then 2 feet. Press the feet up into the sky. The hands gripping. You can do this one or both legs at the same time. We're coming into full bow pose. Full bow pose. 3, 2, 1 more. And release. Heels to the earth, hands to the chest. Downward facing dog. And we're going back and forth with the spine in forward folds and neutral and back bends. So this one's a forward fold, walking the hands up. We're going to add a little opening for the chest. So bend the knees, bring the hands behind the base of the spine, interlacing the fingers here. Let's go awkward thumb forward. And then you'll press the hands up to the sky. So with a clasp. And as you feel comfortable to do so, you can straighten the legs and take that all the way into the forward fold. Breathing in and breathing out. The more important thing is just keep the breath steady, keep the legs steady. And this is more opening to the heart. Move from Manipura, which is the 3rd chakra, the color yellow, the element of fire, into Anahata, which is the heart chakra. Color is green. The element is air. The mantra is I love. Let's release to the earth. Some support to this posture. Bend the knees and come onto the knees. For a camel pose. So we have that deeper bend in the back. Important here to keep the back neutral spine. The way to do that is to squeeze a block in the upper inner thigh. So we keep the inner thighs charged, and they can be the warriors of your low back today, the sentinels. When they're charged, it's less likely that would be dumping into the low back. So imagine Squeeze that imaginary or real block. Place the hands at the base of the spine and then lift. Let's turn them to the sky. We'll just be doing this one time. You're coming into camel. If you'd like to reach down and clasp the heel, that's another version or variation, or you can keep the hands right here at the waist. You could also take the tops of the feet down. So the possibilities are endless for this camel. And your 5 breaths. Open through the chest. The heart to the sky. The clavicle is very broad. Shoulders very broad. And we're squeezing the shoulder blades into the back of the heart and lifting up. Keep that lift going as you come back to center, contracting. That helps you lift back into a steady, stable, neutral spine. Sit back on the heels. So the toes are turned under. We'll take our screaming toe and ride that wave of the heart opening all the way back down into the feet, stabilizing our first chakra. Breathe in, breathe out. And we'll take the hands to the mat into a downward facing dog for a handstand. Now, if you'd like to do this against the wall, I highly recommend the wall. I'm going to show you first an option in the middle of the room, and don't get crazy on me about I can't do them in the middle of the room. Let me show you the option, okay? So we start in the downward facing dog. Everybody knows this position. You can do a downward facing dog. And we step the right leg forward. Everybody can do that. Your knee is bent. We're going to straighten the knee like a spring and then bend it. And it's a spring. And notice what the back leg is doing. It's just following along. Now I want the back leg to actually help the hips lift by lifting the leg. So it now becomes a swing. So the right knee leg is a spring, the back is a swing. And that's all we're doing. You can do that 3 times. And then switch to the other side. Left leg forward, right toes pointing, and we're going to the right leg spring the left leg. Not the legs coming up, it's the hips. We're going to power the hips up over the shoulders. Power the hips, yep. So you come into almost a full handstand. Pause, fold. If you want to do this, I'll show it on the wall. I'm going to be my back to you, so my apologies. It's a downward facing dog with the hands about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. The same swing. And I'm just going to bring the legs all the way to the wall, squeezing the inner thighs, heels rising up the wall and holding for about 3 or 4 breaths. We're building strength and stamina in the arms, opening the shoulders. Remember, we did this upside down for a month. Shrug the shoulders, push the floor away, keep it strong, pull the ribs in, and then lower one leg and the other. Hold that forward fold. Drop the hands, and if you'd like, you can take that into gorilla pose with a bend in the knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Neutral spine, neutral shoulders. Nice. And then release. Come all the way to standing. Hands to the waist and lift up. And you did a handstand today. Very good. Let's shake that out. Coming to the top of the mat. Palms together. Inhale. Like a prayer wheel. Exhale to the side. Inhale overhead. Exhale forward fold. Swan dive fashion. Swan dive if you'd like. Inhale half lift. Plant the hands. This time I'm going to jump back or step. Actually, I'm going to come into our crow we've been working on, and then jump back if you'd like. Chaturanga, inhale, facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We're getting through so much of this in a very good fashion. Coming into a dolphin, just take your left hand to the earth, and the right hand is going to bend out to the side. We'll just raise the right leg and hold here in dolphin. It's a half dolphin, essentially. Keep working the shoulder, keep the elbow underneath, and hold. Pass up, more dog. We'll switch. The right elbow comes to the earth, left hand out to the side, just barely leg coming up. Hold. Now, for those of you who have a forearm balance in your practice, you could take this into the forearm balance. We're going to just have right here and hold steady. Ooh, well, oh, maybe there we go. There. And back into a downward facing dog. Bend the elbows, coming into dolphin. And hold dolphin. It's just an arm strengthener, shoulders, girdle, and then bring the knees to the floor. I'm pretty spent on the arms. That's about it for me. Walk the hands back and pull the feet through. And we'll begin to take this down to the earth. Shake the arms out, lowering onto your back. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll come into our sixth chakra, or the fifth chakra, throat, Visuddha. And this puts a little pressure on the thyroid gland. The thymus is the one that, hypothalamus, that regulates hormones. Actually, they're secreting all over. Entertain each other and talk to each other. And we want the mechanism by which they send signals back and forth to be working in a manner that helps our hormones to balance. We don't have too much cortisol or too much oxytocin or too much adrenaline going at any one given time. Let's take a bridge again. This time we're holding bridge, lifting the hips a little higher, bringing the chest toward the chin, and taking the hands underneath the waist. This requires us possibly to come up onto the toes. So if your forearms or arms are quite long and your torso is quite short, it'll be a little more difficult. So do what you can. I have to really raise the hips very high for this for me. My arms are quite long. Just holding. 3, 2. Let's lift the right knee. Extend it to the sky. 1. Lower the right leg back down. Left knee into the chest. 3. Extend the leg. 2. And 1. Release. Coming up onto the balls of the feet again. Release the hands and lower the hips to the earth. So take an assessment of your wrists. If your wrists are spent, we've done a lot of stuff on our wrist today. I just want you to take a second bridge, no wrist action. If you're okay, we'll take this into a wheel. Up into the bridge again. We'll start here, and friends who want to stay here, this is perfectly legit area and a great place to stay. If you'd like to go into wheel, I'm not workshopping it, but your hands like a platter on the earth, the fingers slightly turned out, the elbows to the sky, and the shoulder blades on the back. So we're not here. I want to bring the back of the shoulder into the earth So I have a deep pit in my arm. So my armpit's actually an armpit. Okay. And then when you press up, come just to the top of the head here, shoulder blades on the back. And then we lift into a full wheel, partial wheel, anything in between, holding. Tuck the chin. Come out the same way you came in, lowering the shoulders, the head, and the hips come to the earth. Okay, we'll do one today. Next week, as we add a little more into this this flow sequence, which I'm really loving. It has more to it. It really gets all of the chakras working, aligned, open. We want to do it in a progressive way that feels good to the body. So after here, we're going to take a neutral spine to shoulder stand, using your block again. These are all postures we've been doing in the past. If they're unfamiliar to you, you might want to pause your video once we get into it and just practice a little bit. Okay, so we'll lift the hips, slide the block underneath the hips. No practice needed for this one. So definitely supportive shoulder stand is my favorite. The knees up, legs extend, and you just get to release into the block. Hips, shoulders. So we're in Visuddha again. It's the throat chakra, and then moving up into the ethereal third eye. So we're going from sound, which is ether, space is the element, or ether, moving into the speed of light, our intuition center. Robinate blue is the throat, Visuddha, and indigo. We're staying here for 10 or more breaths. If you want to take a full shoulder stand, the elbows need to come into the body like glue, and then press the shoulders wide. So the heart stays open, and then the hips are going to lift off and we'll catch. Feet to the sky, squeeze the thighs. Once that's managed, I'm going to hold here for your 10 breaths. We've already been for, so hinge at the hips and take the feet overhead for plow. This is back stretch. And we've been doing a lot of back bends, so be ginger with your back. Make sure it's appropriate. One more breath. And those who are in shoulder stand, bring your hips back to the floor or block. And those on the block, bend your knees, everybody, and bring the feet to the floor. We're going to do our fish pose with the block under the hips. I'm sliding it down just a bit so it's right on the tailbone. Bend the elbows and look back. So I'm taking that same shape of fish in the upper torso. My head and my elbows and my tailbone are pushing down. The feet really don't have much to do, but you can contract the heels towards the glute. That's going to help steady the chest and the hips. And then if you'd like, you can cross the arms over the heart. Hook the thumbs in Garudasana, or Garuda Mudra. If that's heavy on your neck, it's a lot of pressure. The neck's holding me out here. Okay, if you have neck issues, please don't bring your elbows off the ground. They should be supporting you. There should be no weight on the head. Let's gently tuck the chin and come back down. Remove the block. Knees into the chest. Rotation. We got everything in today. It's a really fun class. Let's go the other direction. I hope you'll join me again next week. Any pose of your choice. I'll take happy baby. If you can combine that with a spinal twist, that would really be helpful. Our low back has had so much going on, from back bends to neutral to forward bends. There's a nice release. And then I like crossing the knees and pulling them close. So we get that deeper hip stretch again, once again, and drop the knees over to your left. Bring it back to center. Uncross legs. Opposite leg crosses in front. Knees together at your chest. And then release again. Now we're going to the right. Let the head roll side to side. So when we come into Shavasana, or a peaceful pose, there's a couple ways to do it. So bring the knees back in, bend feet wide, and the knees relaxed into each other, kind of like they're a teepee. That's one way. The arms at your side. A second way, which we have done most likely at times, is just to extend the heels to the pocket of your mat. I'm going to give it a little movement, a little pulse action here, and then relax the legs, open, relax the hips, roll the head. And we'll take Shavasana for a couple minutes here. Breathe in and breathe out. Steady, released, relaxed. Full in breath, full out breath. For 2 more minutes. Or 3. Just assess the body, feeling close to the crown of the head, pose, how your body feels. We went through the chakras from earth at the base, Dara, is on, have, I can, my will to move forward. Heart center. To allow what I hear to Ajna, I, indigo, intuition center, I see, to, you know, Ajna, central area, to and plugging into earth, to the core of the earth, breathe in, breathe out, me with an Om, inhale, Om. Namaste.